I do want to know, Tommy, because I never really talked about it with you, but like, how did you even get into Yu-Gi-Oh?
So I was into it a little bit, and then I saw the movie, and after I got that pack, like I just like kept trying to play my dad with like 3 cards for me, 3 cards for him, and eventually he just like took me to ARG locals when I was like 6 or 7, which was in Lakewood. That was like their first store,
Hmm.
and I just played there till I was like 14 every week. Went to locals. Even if I went out of town, I would just like make it for locals. I was like
Yeah,
addicted as a kid, and all my friends would go with me. But like they would always trickle out, and quit. But like I just never quit. It was
yeah,
more
you
fun
had
to me
to.
than sports, and I was playing all these sports.
Okay, so you were a sports kid. I did not do any sports as a kid.
I just realized you said you went to ARG locals when you were like 6 or 7. That means like I don't even know how old you are because you're gonna make me feel like I'm older than your dad.
I'm 22.
Holy shit,
See?
so
What
young.
the fuck?
And it's crazy
Yeah,
because that means that 6 years ago you were like 16. But when we first were playing, you were like 15. Like I think in this ARG finals picture, you're not even 16 here.
that's why I like cashed out and quit because I was just like I just got like 10 grand from the 25K and Worlds. I was like I have
Yeah,
so much money right now. I feel like I should just like take this and run, but
for a
now I'm
teenager, that's a
enjoying it.
lot. Yeah,
Yeah,
no, yeah, it's different in adulthood. Yu-Gi-Oh is much, much different in adulthood because like then you have money and you have resources, so it's not the same as far as like that whole resource grind. At least for me, because like I went and
yeah.
became an accountant like right after. So I won a YCS while I was in college, and then right after I won the YCS, I graduated college. So the next like and mine like that was my first ever top. So right after that is when I started because it's like a mental break. After that, I started to top everything. And I was also working, so I had like money to go to pretty much every event, and then I got sponsored by ARG, and then I could really go to every event, and it became like a whole thing. But it's definitely a lot different than when like I was 17 and going to an event, you had to like sell stuff and save up and figure out who
Well,
you're
that
driving with.
that grind like motivates you though, because it's
It
like
does.
like you have to ask everyone to borrow cards. Like I
Yep.
remember even borrowing cards from Jim when I was like 12. It was so nice when they started making broken structure decks. Like I got 3 Dark World structure decks and 3 Skill Drains in that like Dragon Duel picture. I got top 4 in
Yeah.
at that YCS, and then the Chaos Dragon deck came out, and that was like free. All you needed was 3 structure decks. Which really
Yeah.
helped.
I want to
Yeah.
ask a
No.
question real quick. So you said you won like 2 tournaments and got around 25K and then 10K for another one?
Well, you get 5K for winning the 25K because it's like total prize pool.
Okay. So how much did you say you got at the end?
Like over 10 grand. I
So,
mean,
and then you
yeah,
said that's when you bounced. So now my
yeah,
question is,
yeah.
because that's when you were in high school. When you went back to school, were you the man on the street? Like, when you went back to
I mean,
school, like, I'm 15, 16, I got 10K in my pocket. What's up?
I was going to school out of state, so like, yeah, I was just trying to become everyone's friend, and I made some like really good friends from being in New York, and that's all I focused on. I was just like, now I just got to do college, try to like socialize, get all the stuff I was missing, going to like a Catholic all boys school when I was in high school.
Oh yeah, I did that too. We have the same upbringing. I went to a
Yeah,
Catholic all boys school.
I was like, all this stuff I'm missing out. I got to make up for it.
What is did you buy anything significant with your money, like your prize winnings in that year that you quit? Like all of that money you had, was there anything that you just cashed out on?
I mean, it's cool because like I bought a lot of my computer parts, like my graphics card. I got 1080 Ti.
Mm.
That's like double, and I got a Mac, but I broke that. I got like a $200 toothbrush. I still have that, which is pretty sweet.
Is it a Sonicare?
It's Oral B,
Okay.
like the black one.
Nice, nice.
So I mean, I tried, but so stuff comes up with buying cars and all that. So like,
Yeah.
yeah, you run out of money being a college student quick still.
Oh yeah. I was gonna ask like how fast did you blow through that fucking 10K? Because that money had to go quick. I'd spend money really bad. I'm terrible.
Yeah, and plus I go to anime conventions and I get figurines and shit. So like,
Yeah, and if you have any kind of collector in you, if because most Yu-Gi-Oh players do, right? We like collecting shit, and that's expensive. It's just an
I
expensive
was
hobby.
I was so bad with that when I was younger. I don't really buy collectibles anymore, but man, do I have some fucking figurines.
Yeah, those are collectibles. What do you mean?
That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't buy them anymore.
Okay,
But when I
you're off the
was
game.
yeah,
Yeah.
between like 18 and I want to say 24, I bought a lot of figurines and collectibles. Like I have a bunch of One Piece shit, like Aokiji and Ace and Luffy and a whole bunch of crap. I got like a 3 foot, 4 foot tall Ganon statue. That's heavy as hell.
How much was that?
That was 600 or 700.
Oh my God.
I bought it in New York. I went to the Nintendo store in New York with Anthony and our other friend Izzy, who's a doctor. So we went there on the train. At the time, they all lived in Philly. We went there on the train, blah, 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 go to the Nintendo store, and they have this, like, big-ass Ganon statue. I swear it weighs, like, 20 pounds. And I was like, hey, how much is that? And he was like, we only have one of them. I was like, well, how much is it? And he was like, it's like 600. And then he kind of moved on, and then I went into my wallet, and I was like, I'm going to buy it. And he looked at me, and I had it cash. I was like, I'm buying it cash. I handed him the 600. I was like, I'm buying that.
Like a drug dealer.
And he didn't believe it. So anyway, he boxed it up. I literally carried this fucking statue around New York. I carried it onto the subway all the way home from New York to Philly, carrying this big ass box.
Damn.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I've never been into figurines like that. I got a couple pops or whatever, but I've never really been big into them. But I definitely had a thing for cards as a kid, and then obviously that went into being an adult and still having a ton of cards. And even now, I still have too many cards. Like I've been selling stuff because the prices on cards, as you know, Tommy, has just gotten out of control.
Yeah, that's what's gotten me into it too. Because now it's like I just regret selling all my cards.
Oh my God, it's crazy, right?
Yeah.
Theoretically, no one should have ever sold a single card ever.
Right. Like I sold my Minervas for 500 each.
I sold my Minerva that I got for third place for $950 on the spot. Like I sold it. I got $950 on the spot, and it is worth thousands now.
Yeah, even the giant hands. I remember people buying them for like 300 at Nats.
I don't even know what they're worth, but I'm sure it's disgusting.
Thousands, yeah. Like every card.
And then I sold my ultra rare prize cards. I'm not even going to say how much I got from my ultra rare, like winning a YCS. Ultra rare, I had the Dark Fairies, which is like technically 3 prize cards.
I know.
And like I got, compared to what they're worth now, I got nothing. Like, I got absolutely nothing.
It doesn't make sense, dude. I don't know if it's like the Logan Paul stuff or what, like just changed everything for it to go up so much.
I think it's a combo.
I think it's a couple things. Yeah, like what Kenny's saying. Like Kenny, what do you think the combo is? Because I have my suspicions.
I think Logan Paul played a part just because he's gigantic on the internet, and he was walking around. He had like a first edition Charizard like around his neck.
Yep.
Walking around with that, and then also just like COVID and everything that happened during the recession, everybody being at home, and like the prices of the prices of a bunch of collectibles went through the roof. And I think
it's not just Yu-Gi-Oh, it's everything. So here's what I think. To piggyback off what you're saying, I think that definitely Logan Paul and like other high-end collectors, because it wasn't just him, it was like other people too. Like Logic, I think, had a Charizard or something as well.
Yeah, I mean even random YouTubers I see.
Yeah,
they all have collections now.
Random Twitch streamers. But it's that, but it's also the fact that there was so much quote unquote free money being given out in 2020.
Yeah.
So everyone was getting $600 extra who was like unemployed. And I'm using air quotes here because I know a lot of people were not actually unemployed, but they were still getting the unemployment assistance. So a lot of people were getting extra money, like more money than they've ever seen. Because if you worked a minimum wage job, and let's say you quit your job or you got fired from it during the pandemic, well, now you make like more than double of your actual salary if you worked at that job because of the extra $600 a week. And then, obviously unemployment on top of that. So you're getting like $2,400 a month plus your actual unemployment. So that was more money than most people had ever seen. Obviously, people don't know how to what to do with their money, just kind of like buy whatever the fuck they've ever wanted. And being in the house all the time, seeing YouTubers and like Twitch streamers showing their nice ass collections, people started to buy collectibles. Also at the same time, people who had a lot of disposable income, there definitely was collusion to just like buy out certain cards. And then once you buy out, like for example, Starlight Appaloosa is a card that went up to like $1,200. And when that card got bought out, it's like, well, now there's none on the internet, so whoever has them just sets the price. So if they just set the price at $1,200, then like that is the price of Appaloosa now, Starlight.
Yeah, and they do. I mean, the prize card. If I win this remote YCS, the last sale for the ultra prize card was 11 grand.
That's so crazy.
It's a whole different game now, Like
it's that. So there's money in Yu-Gi-Oh now. Actually, like it's not like winning. winning a YCS is a legitimate, like, that's a lot of money. Like the 11,000 for playing Yu-Gi-Oh over the weekend, especially a remote duel where it's like you play in your room. Like I could play right now.
And notoriety. I mean, I'm pretty sure that's how Pac blew up right after he won.
It is actually. Pac,
YCS, so like,
yeah, I think he's the biggest like online Yu-Gi-Oh player now.
You're gonna have me start playing again. I'm gonna start cheating.
He's such a nice dude too.
You would fit right in.
I'm gonna start cheating. I'm in there.
There's so many stories with remote duels.
Yeah, I mean this event I played in though, it was pretty chill. I mean like there was one person that might have cheated against me, but didn't really matter. And like the way cutting your opponent's deck just helps out so much. It's like
How do you cut your opponent's deck on a remote duel?
well, you just tell them what to do. So like if I tell you to use like pile shuffle into 3 piles, like you're gonna have to pile shuffle into 3 piles. And then if I tell you like before they draw, if I tell you put the bottom card on the top of your deck, like they have to do that. You know?
Okay, I got you.
Oh, I like that. So
like
it's just
anyway,
like,
yeah.
yes, you just like give random commands and they just have to oblige.
Yeah, and you know you can feel it out if you think they're stacking their bad cards to the bottom, you can punish them. So
yeah,
it's cool with me.
I like that a lot. I didn't know that you could do stuff like that. Hey guys, if you like this clip, we have full video versions of our podcast episodes available on the IMNerd Patreon, as well as exclusive content.
If you'd like to listen to our full podcast episodes or find us on any other social media platforms, you can do so by clicking the link tree below.